Florida from 538 shows Trump up more than 8 points over Biden in the state of Florida, the free state of Florida. Kimberly Guilfoyle is the host of the Kimberly Guilfoyle Show on Rumble, and it's good to see you again. You know, Florida has become kind of a reminder of the kind of life that working Americans can have in this country if they reject the agenda that we've been getting from the left. And that's, you know, nice things, low taxes. We can live this way.
Oh, absolutely. I'm living the dream right here in Florida. I'm laughing out loud at their stupidity and mental illness, thinking that Florida is in play. Okay, I can't walk 3 steps here without running into a Trump parade, a Trump flag. The enthusiasm for the president here, it's overwhelming. You just showed compelling numbers showing the trend and progression, and even more, you know, America first. Republicans have moved to this state because red states are getting it right. And Florida is definitely red. And President Trump does not take it for granted. As you know, and the whole world knows, he has spent a tremendous amount of time in Florida in a rundown place called Mar-a-Lago. I mean, give me a...
Yeah. You know, I tell people all the time, I mean, that 2018 governor's election with DeSantis and that weird guy, and I mean, that thing was like a point. And can you imagine how different that state would look if DeSantis had lost that election and COVID had come in with a Democrat in power? It's a very fortunate that the election went the way that it did.
Yeah,
Trump over the weekend.
It would have looked like Biden's America and what the abysmal failure that he's been in his administration and his policies. We don't want that.
No, absolutely not. I want to show this. Trump over the weekend making a joke about the kinds of people that Joe Biden has brought into this country with the open border, these violent Central American gang members that are ripping purses out of phones out of people's hands here in New York, and also these criminal rings that we're seeing, you know, operating inside of our country now. Take a listen to this.
Dana White. Did anyone ever hear of Dana White? He's a legend, right? UFC. I said, Dana, I have an idea. Why don't you set up a migrant league of fighters and have your regular league of fighters, and then you have the champion of your league. These are the greatest fighters in the world. Fight the champion of the migrants. I think the migrant guy might win. That's how tough they are. He didn't like that idea too much, but actually it's not the worst idea I've ever had.
Well, I mean, I want to play these moments so people can actually hear what he says, because you get a completely different story. Listen to Jim Acosta, devoid of any personality, very small brain, feigning outrage over this. Take a look.
Why in the hell is one of the 2 presidential candidates talking about putting migrants into gladiator fight-like experiences after, you know, family separations and everything else we've seen during the Trump presidency, the Trump experience? They're talking about deportation camps in this country. Fight clubs. I mean, come on. You're okay with this. You're all right with it. Migrant fight clubs.
This is not a serious... he's clearly joking at these rallies, but he's drawing attention to something that's no laughing matter.
I mean, the CNN wonders why they got nobody watching.
And humorless, okay?
Yeah.
They just don't get it, but the joke's on them and that failing network, CNN, please.
And it's amazing, and just so endlessly disingenuous. And I really do believe that that's why, you know, you can have whatever opinion you want, and you can push an opinion on people, but if you do it in a disingenuous manner, I don't take shots that aren't warranted. I don't take the cheap shots, because that's just cheap TV. For him to sit there and act like that comment, I mean, even the Republican guy that they had on the set was like, this is ridiculous. He's clearly joking.
Yeah, they just are. They go so far out of their way. They get Pinocchios every day because they just lie. They make it up. They exaggerate. They pontificate. And they sit there from their little perch and try to cast aspersions against President Trump. And it just is backfiring, you know, every single time. What's serious is that under Biden, there are more than 9 million illegal immigrants that have crossed the border into this country. And those are just the ones that we know about. We have a serious problem on our hands because, as you know, border security is national security. That is what these people should be talking about, instead of like making up nonsense Brad Pitt wannabe Fight Club stupid jokes and, you know, using it against President Trump. Unbelievable.
No, I mean, and again, you can try that, but just like with the campaign and what they're doing right now, so many lies, you can only be disingenuous and lie to people so many times before they start to write you off. And they're running into that problem. After 8 years of lies about Trump, it's getting them nowhere. They're not getting any traction with all of these comments, and I think they're starting to notice that. Kim, thanks so much.
That's for sure. Thank you, Rob. Looking forward to the debate.